It's weird, eh? It is. I'm working at a company called the Paint Cafe and Hardware Store. It's down in Strand, and where we are now is the halfway house that I'm staying at. It's called Omgeer. It's just on the other side of the M2 of Strand, and it's sort of a stepping stone from primary treatment into a safe environment while you're busy getting to learn how to go to work again and do, you know, live life normally. You know, we would have to find places at night where, sometimes in the bush, where you have a couple of pieces of cardboard and a blanket you found somewhere to be able to keep warm. We used to eat food out of bins. We would wash our clothes and ourselves in a river. I'd find a little piece of broken glass somewhere, and I'd make a plan just to try and shave every now and again. But I ended up on the street as a result of using. I'd been shooting took. You know, the smoking didn't work anymore, so I started shooting and stuff. And I knew I was going to die. It got that bad that I knew that if I carried on much longer, I'd messed up so much and I'd done so many things that my chances ran out. This is a typical thing out of cardboard that we would make, and somebody's been here recently, because this is obviously a little fire that they made for some light and to maybe keep it a little bit warm. And in the morning I would pick up my blankets and would go, you know. But this is just one of the many that I used to be around. Strange coming back here now. It's like things are different. You know what I mean? This is how the Big Street people say, and this is the room where I actually met Christo about a year and a half now, going on 2 years ago. I was actually sitting about here, and Christo was over there, and I remember looking up and I remember thinking, who is this oak, you know? Nice clothes, and what is he doing here, you know? And he was happy and smiley, and then I saw him again the next week. He came to visit us on the street 2 days after that, and asked where we were staying, and he invited me to church. I came around that corner and there was that big welcome, it still is, that big welcome home sign there, and there was a lot of people standing around, and I wanted to turn around and I wanted to walk away. I was dirty and I was using and I was probably high. I expected people to treat me a certain way before I got there, because it happened to me a lot before. I didn't have the right clothes and I was smelly and whatever, and I kept walking, and people hugged me, hello, and people smiled at me. And somebody brought me a cup of coffee, and when I sat down, nobody moved away because I sat next to them. And that kept me going back for years and years and years. People didn't want anything to do with me, and you know, and I walked into church that day and I looked at that welcome home sign, and I still do every Sunday when I walk there, and it's still the safest place in the world for me. For years, people had told me that I was wrong and what I was doing was wrong, and you have to stop using. I knew I had to stop using. I couldn't. When people said just keep coming back, no matter how bad you are, no matter how bad things get, it kept me coming back. When that environment, when that culture loved me in a way that there was no judgment, there was none whatsoever, that's when things started changing. I was still on the streets and people asked me to do service. I couldn't believe that. You know, I'm on the streets and I'm standing doing venue control. I mean, people saw me, saw Gary, saw the humanness, and that was huge. It still is. Pastor Phil often talks on a Sunday about building a church that builds a nation. I feel it every single Sunday. By the culture, by the environment. People help me build me. And by me building me, I can start building little things around me.
Here we go. Here we go.
If I think how broken I was when I arrived at church a year ago and the little blocks that have been put in place just by listening, just by rocking up, just by getting a little bit involved in service, that's building me, that's building Gary now, and that's building the Gary that I'm sure God wants to come out. I feel welcome. I feel like it is home. You know, while I'm building my own home here in the world, I've got a permanent home on a Sunday morning that's there. That I drive past once or twice a week if I'm having a bad day, just to see that welcome home sign, because I know that that's a place that, for me, makes it okay. You know, I don't think things are going to be okay anymore. I know they're going to. If you had said to me a year ago that I'd be sitting here in a halfway house, clean, sober, have a job, building relationships with people, building a relationship with God, I mean, I would have looked at you and said, there's no ways. And here I sit.
My beloved one, you're welcome home.
You well? Hey, you lekker?
Thank you very much.
No problem. There we go. There we go. Okay. You want some bread? Hey, how are you? It's been a long time. How's it going? There we go.